Right then, so the goal of this inspection is to check this hive. So we check for any queen cells that I missed, any emerged queens that I missed, because it's been about 15 days, 16 days since I did the artificial swarm. Queens emerge after 16 days. There were queen cells going in, some fairly well done. So all the queens should have emerged, but there's the outside possibility that a queen might emerge tomorrow or even further outside the day after. So I just want to make sure that I don't have any queens or potential queen cells in here before I unite it with the hive that it came from. So first thing is to check that queen cell that I caged. See if that's hatched. Let's have a look. Well, they've glued it in well. Wow. This is why you don't leave big gaps between frames, because I left a big gap between this frame, and look at that. Isn't that wonderful? They've made a frame in the gap between. Oh, that's awesome, that is. Let's see, queen cell. The queen looks like it's empty, so they may well, the queen may well have escaped thanks to the efforts of the bees. So we're going to have to go a queen hunting, which is what I didn't want to do, but I was going to do anyway just in case. So I spotted for the queen. I'll leave that over there. Where's my tools? There we go. Right, queen. Let's see if we can find you. If there is one, because I took that queen cell out and put it in the cage, and that may have damaged it. So there is the possibility that that the queen was not viable thanks to that. But I would really love to find a queen, because that would make sure that that I'm not going to get an issue of having two queens in one hive, which would be. So it looks like there's if I can find it. Here, just there. That looks like kind of a queen cell, but it looks. You can see it. It looks like it's sort of been opened. It looks ragged around the edges. It's not like totally symmetrical. So that looks like a queen's been emerged from that. That there. There. You can see it on the camera. It's hard to see in this light when it's facing me. So actually, it looks like a queen has emerged, if that's what that is. Which makes the likelihood of a queen being in here somewhat higher. Right then, this is the frame. If you see all the sort of how thick it is, that's because there was a gap, and they like to fill the gap with comb. They don't like big spaces. In a beehive, they want 2 bee spaces between brood combs, so that one bee can be on both sides tending to the brood. In the honey stores, they only have 1 bee space between the 2 combs. So, it doesn't look like it on this side either. Oh, hello. Ah, we found her. Hello, Queenie. Right. Interesting colour, Queen. I'm glad we found her. I've no idea how I'm going to catch her, actually. Result. I'll quickly, because that's my last queen cage is used for that to capture that queen. However, I'll try using this. Alright, see if I can locate her again. She's got a black, a very dark tail, abdomen. She didn't look too big. Come on, where are you? Am I on screen? No, I'm not on screen. So, she's not massive. She's got a sort of, there we go, on the edge. She is where? Picture somewhere here. Possibly, unless she's gone back. I don't think so. Look for a very black abdomen. Come on, where'd you go? What I might have to do, what I can do, is just leave this frame off, because the queen's either on this frame or flying. So if I leave this frame off, she won't be in the joined hive. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I found the queen. Oops, I'm pretty sure I found the queen on that hive, that frame. Couldn't find her again, unfortunately. After I tried to get something to grab her. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave that frame out. If the queen's on there, she'll fly into another hive or fly away. Because they just won't accept her. If she goes in the entrance of another hive, the bees there will kill her, which will be good for me. So I'm just going to put this on top as was the plan, but without the hive, the frame with the queen on. So let me point to the new target. So. Right, it's going on there. So to join the hives, you put 2 sheets of newspaper in between, and as the bees eat through that newspaper, they get used to each other's smell, so they don't start reacting to each other as hostile. Which is what we want, and then they just integrate together. So, here's the plan. So, I grab that. It's going to be tricky. Right. No wind, no wind, no wind, no wind. Oh, bum. One sting for that, unfortunately. And then stick the top back on. So, right, they'll eat through this, chomp it out and get rid of it all, and hopefully by then they'll get to know each other and just accept the extra bees in the hive. Those over there, a lot will go into that hive, which is what I want actually, because that hive had a bit of a, with all the queen dying and stuff, that's had some issues, so the bee quantity in there is lower. So I'd quite like to give that hive some bees anyway, but this is going to get the majority on the frames, and it's also going to get the brood when the last of the brood hatches out in 7-8 days. So now I just smoke where I was stung. Unfortunate, but hey, it's been a long time and some pissed off bees, and I'll try and see if I can find that queen again, because you never know. Got her, finally. Hold on, flip this up. I can see what I'm showing. Here she is. So, well, that was tricky to find, but I found her eventually. It took bloody ages. But now I'm confident that there is no queen, or queen, I'm pretty sure there's no more queen cells, in the box that we've got united there. I might just open the box up and put that final frame in, and I'll give this to the guy who could use the queens, because it's nice to let her be useful rather than just killed. So there you go. One queen core. I'll grab some attendants as well, so that cause I'll put her in her with some food. But since she's a queen, obviously queens don't do anything for themselves, like the sort of normal chore of eating. They get help for that sort of thing. So I'll sucker up some attendants as well. There we go. So she's in there with some little friends to tend to her. So I'll stick that frame in. I'll do that now. But I was starting to doubt myself. I was wondering, did I actually find the queen or not? But the answer was yes, I did. And the bees have been awfully tolerant of me, because that was a good lesson that make sure, ooh dear me, make sure that when you look for the queen. Make sure you have the means to capture her at hand and don't have to do what I did, which was run away, find the thing, come back, lose the queen, which is not ideal. Squidge this in. And once this, what I'll do is in 9 days or so, there will be, the longest brood to emerge is, takes 21 days. It's been 15 days since the artificial swarm. So it's going to, the last brood will emerge 15, 21, another 6 days. So I'll give it 8 days, because there is a certain amount of play in this. I'll give it 8 days, and then the last of the brood will emerge. I'll take this, also feed the honey back to them on the frames, and replace any of the blank ones that they didn't draw out there. With the ones that are drawn, and then just get rid of the rest for new comb, because you want to refresh the comb on the super frames, because it stores disease. It also gets sort of older and brittle, and the cells get thinner, and you get more of the drone cells, and you want as few of those as possible. But yeah, so that's it. Success. Didn't think it would be. It was a bit touch and go for a while, but yeah. Job's a good one.